Hello. What's up? Twitch problems? We're having Twitch problems tonight. Uh, I'm okay, I suppose. Huh. Well, that's wild. I did, but unfortunately not really enough. I also kind of had a little impromptu nap just before this. So that's probably got a little bit to do with how I sound. Went to make an account on this site. Come to discover, someone else did using my username. But I thought it would be like maybe I did it to myself years ago or something. But no. It's actually someone who did it incredibly exactly a week ago. It's not like a new site or anything either, where there's like a scramble for usernames. So I'm trying to think if like I did do this to myself, but I don't think so. No. God, Google search sucks even inside of Gmail now. It just sucks everywhere. It simply does not work. Like, if I put something in quotes, it has two words in it, that means I don't want to search for the, like, just one of the words, right? I want to search for the phrase.
Yeah, I don't understand when that stopped working, but it stopped working like that a long time ago.
They've been, like, working hard at making Google suck shit.
Yeah. I just had a thought, and it's probably going to depress you. So I feel like I need to say it anyway. We need to start working on Screaming.
Yeah, I know. I know. Oh, with usernames, I have this, like, mixed feelings, because it's like somebody could legitimately think of the same username and not be, like, intending to steal it, you know what I mean?
That's happened with my name.
Yeah. Well, you weren't even first to your name.
I know. But, like, I obviously didn't intend to steal it from anyone either.
Yeah.
Just a name I thought up.
Just unfortunate happenstance.
You should let me build something super elaborate just anyway.
Why?
Because I have crafty stuff. Crafty stuff that I can craft.
Yeah, but I mean, then I don't know. I'll think about it.
Crafty stuff.
I don't know why all systems don't use, like, the system that Discord previously had. I also don't remember why Discord stopped having the system that it previously had. Wasn't that a good system? Or was that a bad system? I don't remember their rationale for getting rid of it. Why did Discord change their username system? Discord is changing its username system, breaking ties with its hard to remember format that combines lowercase and uppercase letters plus a unique 4-digit suffix called a discriminator. Okay. That's such a weird that's such a weird framing. Like, they say hard to remember, but then the things they list are lowercase and uppercase letters, which is like, that's usernames. And then the other thing being the 4-digit suffix, which is the only that's who wrote this. That's bizarre. That's truly the only difference from it and normal usernames is the 4-digit suffix, and it's not that hard to remember. Or no more so than a normal username, or not much more so, I guess I would say. Switching to a standard format. Blah, blah, blah. I'm looking at an article that explains why Discord changed its username system, because I was curious. Blah, blah, blah. So it went lowercase only, numbers, 2 special characters, and that's it. Okay, yes, but what about the why? Tell me the why. The key reason for the change is to ensure that, like other online platforms, Discord users can easily remember usernames. Is that it? According to numbers shared in the blog post, over 40% of Discord users either don't remember their discriminator or don't know what it is. I don't understand. I don't understand how that occurred. So that's it. They switched from a system where usernames didn't really have to be unique, or they were like faux unique. Yeah, it doesn't solve the problem whatsoever. It's just sort of like if you had trouble remembering your discriminator, you probably had trouble remembering your username. But yeah, also you didn't need to remember it because it was like easy to find. It was also displayed right on the screen when you're using Discord. Yeah, I don't. It's weird. I thought it was a fine enough system. It's also not a system that Discord invented or anything. They did a long time ago, just for usernames, not display names. This is old news. This happened a while ago. Everybody's on a non-discriminator system now. If you hover over your name in Discord, it shows you your actual username. So there was a scramble when they made that change to avoid getting squatted. I was lucky enough to avoid that myself. I only brought it up because like I just found a website where I did get squatted, seemingly. I can't prove that it wasn't myself. I don't think it was. The only thing I can think is that it's a site that's like connected to another site, and I don't know that it is. I suppose I could prove that by trying to log in with the other site that I suspect. But it was just surprising to me that wow, hello? Oh, weird. Wait. Is my sync not working? No, it is. What the fuck? Okay, so the site that I'm trying to find apparently is not called what I think it's called. You know what? I'm just going to let this go. I don't care that much. I don't care that much.
Is that this? Oh, nope, that's a grenade.
Oh.
Did I pull the pin?
Grid, thank you for 113 months. Very much appreciated. Yeah, I feel like you did. Very recently. 112 months. Yeah, 3 days. 3 days ago. 2 days ago, even maybe. If God, dude, Stream Elements, your fucking ground control app sucks. It's so bad. Do they even work on it anymore? I wonder. Am I using like a vaporware? Did they replace this with something? It's so, like, when I try to scroll through it, it's so laggy. I don't know why. I think it just leaks memory all the time or something. I just want to be able to see my alerts that come in. It also just doesn't tell me about gift subs anymore for reasons unknown. I don't have them filtered or disabled, but they're just not... They're not part of anything it tells me about anymore. But anyway, 2 days ago, Grid, you had your 112 month alert. This one. Yeah, exactly. It was timed with the tunes. So. I don't think I've done too much since I last showed you guys this. I think I hadn't finished this out on stream. So I went a bit further with this, and I think I had only done like a sort of mock of the desktop light version. Maybe I did a little bit of the mobile, but I've also done a stab at the dark version and so forth. I'm worried that my dark version isn't dark enough. I feel like I need maybe more between shades. In the pseudo grayscale. I started a general PLP product landing page or catalog. You think it's dark enough? The parts I'm worried about are the text. I feel like the text is potentially too bright. But I also there's a danger of like you don't want to also go into bad accessibility territory where you don't have enough contrast either, so it's probably fine. It's probably fine. I didn't do any more carts. I didn't do anything else with any of the rest of this. So this is the only really big new thing. kind of poking around at this. Probably BFA. Probably. Yeah, because it has the big white background. Yeah. Part of the overhaul of the store here would be to doodly doo. Lost my brain.
Thank you for touching my slug tube for 82 months.
Food Flair, thank you for 82 months. Change the product images as well. Those need to be fancied up. Also, I've switched to Chatterino. Although I have found already that it's... I mean, the, like, big giant emotes just came out, but it doesn't support those yet. I don't know how up to speed they keep with things. But I'm testing it out versus Chatty. Oh, Twitch's VODs don't even support it? What the hell? That's weird. But yeah, the product images need to be fancied up a bit. Thank you. Yes, I was sneezing. So with this, I was thinking about this sort of landing page approach for creators, and then we can still have PLPs for creators or collections, but instead what we can do is when we have this like split situation like with mine, where you know, I've got like 2 separate collections on the store, and it's kind of weird. In this way, we can unify that under a sort of single banner. And then, so like this functionality would be shared across all collections, no matter what the topic of it is. But we could have a custom sort of top area. I just have a hero placeholder there for now, but it could call back to the creator. So the landing page would be sort of the headquarters for creators, and then collections could be a lot more flexible and sort of lackadaisical about how they are implemented. So you could have like a collection that's just all of the creator stuff, and you could have sub collections of those items as well. So like just a certain run, or like obviously my case is the obvious example of you can have a collection that is all of my stuff, and then I have an additional collection that is just Scream a Day, and it could be themed a little differently. It could still call back to my landing page. Both would, of course, but I think that would be a pretty good approach, rather than having a collection as every creator's sort of homepage on the store, because it's just a lot less flexible that way. That's my thinking on it. So with this, this is based off of Shopify's filtering system. Their collections, data objects, and their search objects support filtering, and you can have sort of like built filters where the more that you add, they all kind of are additive together and narrow down. But I need to design out a bunch more stuff for that. And then it'll be a whole thing to dev it out as well. Yeah. Storefront filtering. Storefront filtering UX. Yeah. Oh yeah, size. That's a big one. Also, should add another little frame in here. Something like that. I haven't really designed form fields yet, so this drop down is kind of questionable. This is going to be an accordion, so I'm really basically going to kind of copy what Shopify suggests, like this style, accordion style. But in this case, we're going to have these bluebells. So this would be like like that, and controls. Layout, fill container, and then just some damn controls in here, I think. Right? Yeah. Checkbox label, count of things, essentially. Oh, wait. No, yeah. This is just extremely large for some reason. And I don't mean for it to be. That's still way too big. Something like that. Something like that. Center. This could be a little bigger. I don't like that. That's all right. Fill container. And then, I don't know. 60. So along these lines, I'm not a huge fan of my checkboxes here. That's a little better. Yeah, looks pretty good. I need to figure out what the actual checked ones look like. Probably like that, I'd say. Looks pretty good. Maybe a wee bit smaller on that check mark. That's a little bit better. And the counts probably don't need to be quite so prominent. Wow, that color is still pretty prominent. See, I think I have to expand my palette a little bit further. There's too much of a gap between these two, I think. Gas and dust. They're like if I do gas, I think I'd lose them all together. Nearly. That's way too light. But in this case, they don't even really look like they're a different color unless you zoom way in. Probably fine for the moment, though. Price is a tougher one. They want you to use this like double-ended range slider. Which is something. Avoid dead ends. Interestingly, or not really, I like never work on clothing stores. Clothing stores almost always need these insane filters because they're so... The catalogs are usually large. Very large. So, probably just do that. And then whoa! Nobody asked for that. I wonder if these should be written out, or if I should use... Because like I said, I don't do a lot of this, so... I'm curious... like how this is going to be sourced, data-wise. Typically, these would be variants on a product. So like... unless I have some sort of conversion that I'm, like, I recognize, like, oh, if it says XS, then I'll put extra small instead, something like that. But that gives us a sense of what that'll look like. The mobile will be harder with this because the mobile is going to have controls this complex, you're going to have like a fly out, customize the filters that you can then close and go back to browse what results you got. So that sort of thing. So it's going to be a bit more complicated design-wise. I'll probably have to do a lot of different states to show how everything ought to look. Price is a weird one. That is a weird little one. Nope. And that just looks like a see-through. It's okay. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, it's probably a fine enough first stab. And then this whole thing would just go away. doesn't work. It's okay. Why? Oh, I see. That is centered, and something about the way I've done that has made this weird. That's why. There we go. That's better. Looks interesting, at least. Implementation might be a tad annoying. But, yeah. I mean, that is the thing, basically, that they recommend. I'm going to switch the music. Yeah, I couldn't stand the silence anymore. I managed to find a way to make my stream even more boring. Whoops. The order of stuff in these is going to be another interesting implementation piece because it's very, I mean, what Shopify wants you to do, well, they want you to do a lot of things. Because you can actually order these by, like, availability, popularity, or really, like, bestsellers, things like that. In terms of, like, these categories, these little subsets. So the order that these sorts of facets are shown in can actually be data-based, which is interesting. I also want you to only show a maximum of 10 and then do like a read more. So I should probably do an example of that as well. And then these wouldn't just be random, they would be based off of color options that are actually available within the product subset or within that collection. But for my purposes, just putting whatever colors I can think of in here. Yeah. It's looking all right. Ultimately, probably we'll do a sort of like a sticky layout where these controls here probably become like a bar that gets stuck at the top and the products all scroll under, and then these could also stick these filter controls on the side, so because there's nothing down here, so they can just slide along. So the products will have a sort of like just sliding through appearance. Could also do like Ajax style, loading in more products, updating the product display when filters are changed, added and removed, whatever. So there's no page loads while you're trying to browse for stuff. That would be nice. But I would probably build it out lo-fi first. You know, I think Pulse doesn't have enough purple in it. I feel like it looks too gray to me now, suddenly. Easy to fix. out there. I feel like these headers maybe should have something differentiating, you know? I'm not sure. Maybe? It just all looks a little samey. I don't know if I like that, though. Don't know about that, though. Too bright, I think. Maybe? Just kind of from their contents. Yeah, surroundings, essentially. I could. I feel like that would be more visual noise than I would like. But I can try that out. I don't like that, but I mean, this could be leading to something here. This could be... It could be... It could be, because what if I did... What if I... What am I looking for? This? Okay, so what if I did that? And what if I... 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 That, and then do this, and Hmm. It's certainly something. It's not bad. I could do this in a more muted way, because that kind of feels like it's competing now with the grid CTAs. But this is something I can play with. What if it was not quite so stark? That looks pretty nice. I like that. Yeah, that really does something for me. I like that. Now I have to go do that for everything. Not that bad, actually. Ta-da. Looks pretty nice. I like it. I like it. I originally, like, I was trying to note that I didn't give them, like, drop shadows or anything, because I didn't want them to take too much focus away from the grid or compete visually too much with the grid. Oh, you can. There is. It's called components. That's what these are. I just didn't. That's all. I just didn't. I have and I haven't. It depends on the thing. So, like, for those, it would have made sense to do components, yeah. Still can, of course. Although you did just watch me go through a bunch of instances and individually change them. I'm still kind of getting a handle on how I'm using components in Figma. You can do crazy shit. You can do stuff where components can have variants. So you can have like on-off states. You can make a button and then add a variant for hover, add a variant for active, add a variant for disabled. And then you can switch between those wherever you use them. But with stuff like that, it's always a matter of like, what's your workflow? How are you approaching all this? Yada, yada, yada. So I go in and out of whether I'm like actually using them or not. Like, for instance, I could yoink all these out here, right? And then let's take, not that, where do these live now? So they're all sitting here. Let me take this one. I just wanted to take these out temporarily to preserve them in their natural state. So that's this one here. See, like now I'm trying to think like, how do I even want to componentize this? Could componentize just the box, perhaps? Like that. Filter group. This up here. Create component. And now it is a component. And then I can instance off of that directly. Wow. Okay. I thought I could like drag it into that menu. I don't know why I thought I could do that. I can drag it in here. I didn't want to drag it directly in here. I want to create an instance. I want to create an instance. There we go. There we are. And then, and then I can grab my controls from each of these. So let's start at the top. Why that no work? Curious. Why? Why? This is just, this is just a container. It is down a component, but I feel like I should be able to drag these items into it. Why won't it let me? No. No, I don't think so. Except for the fact that it's a component. I guess components have rules that I'm not fully aware of yet. Like, I know that I can do stuff like, so you can change the colors on instances. I think you can change some of the parameters and such, yeah. Anything that you change will sort of be detached from the component. So as an example, if I change the color of this fill like that, and then I come up here and I set this to that, the first four change, but the last one doesn't because I detached that parameter. But apparently stuff like contents inside of frames, you can't add stuff to that, which is really weird to me. So I guess this is a situation where a component doesn't really help, or I need to be more granular. So like the button title that is essentially the same on all of these, that I guess is probably the thing I could componentize, and it would make sense because I can still change the text, but then I would have like a global control for the color. But I mean, like at that rate, I don't know if I really feel like it's worth my time. I don't know. All I know is it didn't seem to want to let me do that, so it didn't work the way I thought that it Should. I suppose probably each of these would be themselves a unique component that would have subcomponents that have controls. Would probably be the way to do it. Like each of the different kinds of little field sets that we would use in this could be a component that I could bring in. That way, if I change, you know, for example, the layout of, like, how does it look with a checkbox and a label and whatever. So those would all change across all of them, that sort of thing. So probably just more granular would be better. But yeah, BFA, I like these headers. That was a good idea. The only question now, I guess I could still have it the way I had it before when they're closed, where it's like this background color with a darker text, and it just has like a nice transition to open. Or I could just keep that color. I don't know. Like I said, I was kind of wrestling with trying to keep them from being too distracting from the catalog itself. But this doesn't look bad now, so I mean, maybe if they were all just dark buttons, that could be fine. Maybe. Who knows? This is the thing I'm probably least looking forward to building. or both, really. Like, I am excited to build it. I'm also kind of dreading it a little bit. Yeah, the different colors. Yeah, for sure. But I plan on building this stuff out so that I have like examples of how everything should be. You know what I mean? So like in this case, I would, oops, not do that. In this one, I would do that. So I have an example for myself. Like, what happens when they're all closed? Or what happens when they haven't used any of the filters at all? What if they have no filters applied? What happens in that case? Not every single little thing, but just a few examples of like significant differences. So like, this is how they should look when they're closed. That's interesting, eh? Why? Huh. I see. So maybe... do that instead. See, in this case, I'm not sure I love this just hanging out here by itself like that. It probably needs designed a little bit more, because it looks a little weird. Kind of a floater. But these, I like this now, yeah. Pretty happy with that. Originally, scheme-wise, boop, 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 boop. These were... What were these? They were this and... Nope. This and this. It could still work like that, but I'm not sure that's... See, now that makes me wonder. You know, I think I like that. Yeah, I think I like that. It's not bad, right? But yeah, this area along here needs some work. I need to potentially revisit that a little bit more. Here, I'll simulate the experience for you. You can actually build out prototypes that have sort of the appearance of working. You can actually run these, so you can design what are called flows. And when you're in a prototype view, so I could make these, for instance, open and close when you click on them or something. I've not ever done that, so I don't know exactly what that's like or what goes into it. But this does look more web pagey when I scroll up and down. I think this is... So this is actual size. So this is roughly, at least on my screen, this is what it would look like. Obviously everything that touches the edge would extend out to the edge of the window, but you get the idea. It also works sort of like a PowerPoint, so I can go through the other pages I set up. Although the other ones have nothing. But as a for instance, do this one. I don't like that the cards are the same color as the background. I need to fix that. Click, 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 click. Thank you, M. Dark mode. I'm still really unsure on this color for the header. I may have to kind of revisit the entire application of the color palette, because most implementations that I've looked at, there's like a 1-to-1, whereas from a design perspective it doesn't always come out 1-to-1. For some of these I've made different choices to handle certain things. certain things specifically, which doesn't jive super well with being able to switch just between, like, we're just changing what the variables are pointed at. So I might have to put a bit more careful thought towards it being more formulaic rather than the way I've been doing it, which is essentially like by my whimsy, which is, you know, not always going to be, it's not always going to result in a formulaic outcome. So I'll be probably tweaking it a lot. I mean, this all can be thought of as a bit of a sketch at this point. Likely to change as I sort of zero in on everything. I mean, the general look is certainly established, which feels good. Right now, I feel like the product page is the best looking sort of implementation of the whole idea. I feel like it all comes together well. And it just feels very clean and clear in both light and dark, you know? This one feels the most fully formed. Like, that looks pretty good, right? I want to buy stuff off this page. Pleasant to look at. Everything's nicely separated from each other. Nothing really feels like it's blending together. It's nice. I really got to get to the code part of this soon. I'm excited for this to be real. I'm so glad we have Cobot to immediately shoot bots in the face. Yeah, sorry, I'm sort of like kind of slow today. It's one of those times where I'm more thinky about this stuff than I am actually implementationally doing things. So it's probably a little bit boring, or a lot boring. I certainly have enough that I could get the baseline foundation of the theme built, and then I could go back and forth between the actual, like, designing and then implementing, designing and implementing. I just have a few things that are still bugging me where I feel like I need to solidify better what the hell's going on. The palette, I think, needs some tweaks, and like I said, I need to kind of unify that in a more formulaic way. Like, there's some things that don't change. There's some things that do change. That's basically what I'm talking about. And the trouble with that is that I still want this color. And I still use this color in other places. Maybe I don't. Maybe I let it go. Because it really needs to be like, this is the light palette, this is the dark palette, and the ones that I'm actually more worried about are the ones where it's like much less clear. Like on the light side here, I have very light, like the product cards are completely inverted in the dark view, but that's not always the case in terms of how other things are handled, if that makes sense. So that feels problematic. Oh, nice, Em. Yeah, I really like a sort of blue and pink neon. I always have, so it's not new or anything. That looks better. I had set everything to like this really bright background for some reason, and it was bugging me. Did the same thing over here. There we go. That looks way better. So I was like, what? The cards are blending into the background. Why? That's why. That looks so much better. Anyway, I'm still picking away at it, but because I had to work this weekend, I have not been able to do as much as I wanted to. So that's just how it is. I think I'll probably clear out for tonight. But thanks for stopping by for this. I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, so I do appreciate anybody just hanging out. But I'll be back tomorrow, Sunday Gun Day. So I'll see you then. Have a good night.